Don't you want to make your phone less distracting while still looking clean? I've set up my phone to have fewer colors to make apps less tempting and customized it in a way that promotes more intentional use of my phone. If that's what you're looking for, keep watching as I walk you through how to achieve this clean and minimal setup. This video is sponsored by Superlist, the new productivity app I've been using for over a month now. I will share more in a bit. So this is my lock screen, and this is a wallpaper I've been working on with a friend, which I'll share the download link below. The great thing about this wallpaper is that it has a dark mode version. You can set it to change when it's near your bedtime so it's less harsh on your eyes. This is done using focus mode, which I will share another useful tip later in this video to help you stay focused. For now, let's look at the widgets we have on our lock screen. I have a Notion calendar widget so I can always see what's up next, and I have two small widgets beside it that allows me to quickly see my fitness activities for the day and the battery status of a nearby Bluetooth device. Opening up my phone, you can see two pages on my home screen. First page of my home screen serves as a launchpad to open my Notion pages. What's standing out is this minimal clock widget from the default clock app. I added this widget for the aesthetic, but it also serves as a secondary reminder of the current time. The remainder of this home screen is filled with Notion widgets. There's a medium-sized widget in the middle that shows my favorite pages in Notion, where I can click to open any one of the page. However, what I like most are these small-sized Notion widgets, where pages of the same category or life area can be stacked together. I have a stack for tasks, which have my inbox, today's task, and completed tasks. And beside it, I have a stack for notes, which consists of my recent notes, favorite notes, and notebooks to group related notes together. If you have a ton of pages in Notion like me, this is an absolute time saver when it comes to opening and accessing the Notion page you need. Moving on, the second page on my home screen is for launching some of my more frequently used apps. At the top, we have another medium-sized Notion widget, but instead of showing my favorite pages, it's showing my recently visited pages. Earlier, I opened my Ghost page, so it's appearing at the top, which I can easily access by clicking on it. Right below, we have a small widget that shows your live progress from an app called Stoic. Seneca once wrote, "Life is long if you know how to use it." I want to remind myself to be intentional about how we use our time, else we risk letting other people and distractions like social media take control. Moving on, I know you have been wanting to ask where I got these minimal icons. This honestly started off as a personal project to make my home screen looks cleaner. But thanks to many of your interests, I decided to turn it into a growing collection of custom icons you can check out in the description below. Here's a quick demo on how to set up your custom icons. Open up the Shortcuts app, and then tap the plus icon at the top. Then we search for an action called Open App, and then click the one under Scripting. Next, select the app you want to open, and I will use 1Password app as an example. Once done, click on the drop down arrow beside the shortcut's name and select Add to Home Screen. At this point, you can choose a photo or file whichever you have downloaded your custom icons to. Then finish up by renaming it to the app's name or any preferred names before clicking on Add to see it appear on your home screen. And you can repeat these steps for as many apps as you want to put on your home screen. Next up, the most important part of any home screen is your dock apps. These are the apps that you see on every page of your home screen. So let's show you a little more of how I use each of these apps. First, we have Notion Calendar. I use Notion Calendar to plan and schedule my day. I actually do most of the planning on my laptop while using the mobile app just for viewing. However, if something comes up and needs to be added to my calendar, I can navigate to the date, click on the plus icon and give this event a title, and add details like participants and location before adding it to my calendar. So I could talk about the next app all day, but the simplest way to put it is that Notion is like my second brain. It knows the projects I'm working on, the tasks I need to get done, and the insights that I've gotten from books that I'm reading. However, as with Notion Calendar, I don't use Notion for as many things on my phone as I do on my laptop. For most of my day, I use Notion on my phone to brain dump. I use it to capture new tasks, meeting notes, or inspiring quotes while on the move. Once back at my laptop, I can then review my inbox and process the recently added items. The third app on my dock is a relatively new addition. Normally when you use your phone to look up something quickly, you end up having to sift through many results, not to mention the ads in between. Arc Search understands that you want to get results fast. You type in your query as you would on Google and then click on Browse for me, and the app will browse through different web pages and return a neatly formatted result. Initially, I felt odd that I was not cross-checking different sources myself, but I've learned to trust it a little. But no matter what you think of it, I recommend giving it a try. The last app on my dock is probably already on every one of your devices. ChatGPT pretty much took over the internet last year and you're probably already familiar with it, so I won't dive into the details. But instead, I want to talk about a new productivity app I've been using for over a month now. But the real question you're probably wondering is why a big Notion user like me is using it. There are two reasons. The first reason is that I noticed an unhealthy obsession with work, which led to the neglect of my personal life. Now I use Superlist to manage my personal tasks. After work, this allows me to detach and focus solely on my personal responsibilities. You can use any to-do app, but Superlist is just clean and intuitive like how all mobile apps should be. This brings me to the second reason that Notion on the phone is just much more difficult to navigate. Coupled with the first reason, it just makes sense for me to use an app built for managing my tasks, and that app for me is Superlist. Thank you Superlist for sponsoring this video, and you can try out Superlist using the link in the description below. The final part of my phone setup that I want to talk about is focus mode. I've started using this relatively new iOS feature that allows you to change your home screen with your focus mode. This allows you to set up different widgets and apps specifically for each use case, as I did for travel and filming. To get started, first customize your home screen on a new page that you like to use for a specific focus mode. Once done, then click on the dots and choose to hide this home screen by default. Next, open settings, navigate to focus mode and click on the focus mode you want to use. Then choose the respective home screen. You can repeat this process to create dedicated home screens for fitness, study, or work. I'm curious what focus mode you have or plan to set up on your phone, so please do share them in the comments down below. And that's how I customize my phone setup to be minimalist and productive. Earlier I discussed how I use Notion as a capture tool. If you are curious about how I manage and organize my Notion, watch this video on the screen on how I use Notion as a second brain. And if you found this video to be helpful in any way, do hit the like button down below and I'll catch you on the next one.